Hello everyone, welcome to Prompt with Pal. Have you ever felt you know what is happening in the market, you even have a sense of what it means, but turning that into something actionable will take hours, sometimes days. That gap between insight and execution, that's where most of us get stuck. So today, instead of showing you just another AI capability, I want to show you something more practical. What if three simple capabilities could just come together to do this for you? Understand what is happening, make sense of it, and actually build what you need next. I call this power of three, and the best part, much of what you are about to see is already available out of the box with Copilot and the ecosystem around it. Let's see how this plays out. Before we get into the demo, I want to set a quick context. In most GTM scenario today, the challenge is not the lack of data. It is the disconnect between understanding the market and actually acting on it. So instead of showing you individual capabilities, I'll walk you through what I call power of three. Three connected layers, understanding what's happening, interpreting what it means, and actually executing a response. Let's see how this comes together. Let's begin with researcher. This is where we define which competitors we care about, the type of signals we want, the level of depth required. In this case, we are tracking players like Google, AWS, Salesforce, OpenAI, and ServiceNow. Now notice something important here. Before it starts, it asks for alignment. Should we focus globally or regionally? Which industry matters? Are we prioritizing enterprise signals? This is critical because GTM insights are only useful when they are context aware. As it begins execution, you can actually see the workflow beginning the research, gathering the competitive insights, tracking the company dynamics, and finalizing the structured output. This is not a black box. This is showing you how it's thinking and progressing. Now let's look at what it produces. This is where raw information becomes structured intelligence. For example, Google integrating Gemini into search and Chrome, moving towards proactive agent experience, and AWS strengthening its OpenAI partnership, doubling down on AI infrastructure, ServiceNow positioning itself as an AI control tower for enterprise workflows. And this is not scattered, it is organized by competitors, by category, with recent developments clearly highlighted. So what we have achieved here is from fragmented signals, a unified market view. Now comes the second layer, the analyst, because knowing what's happening is only step one, and the real question is, what does it mean for us? This is where the analysts start connecting the dots, identifying the patterns across the competitors, understanding the strategic intent, and mapping the impact to Microsoft's offering. This is where we see things like competitive pressure on Copilot from deeply embedded AI experience, a clear opportunity for Microsoft security as a differentiation layer, and Fabric plus SQL emerging as a strong unified data foundation. And most importantly, it prioritizes. This is not just a report, it's what matters, why it matters, and where to focus. So now we moved from clarity to strategic direction. Now comes the most important part of this entire flow, the coworker. This is where AI moves from thinking to doing. Let's slow down here because this is where the magic is. You can see how the coworker is actually executing the task, interpreting the analyst insight, mapping them to Microsoft solution area, designing the positioning, creating a deliverables. This is not signal response. This is multi-step execution workflow. What's powerful is that it retains the context across everything, the competitive signals from researcher, the strategic insights from analyst, the GTM priorities like Copilot, security, and SQL. So when it creates outputs, they are not generic, they are context aware, insight driven, business aligned. Now look at the output. This is where it becomes real. It's not giving you a summary, it's producing a full GTM package, competitive analysis report, Microsoft's value proposition aligned to personas, customer deck, pitch deck, enterprise use case scenarios, and 30, 60, 90-day GTM plan. These are not separate files, they are connected. The pitch reflects the strategy reflects the market, and the use case reflects the opportunity. This is something that typically takes multiple teams to align. This is the most powerful part. Every output is mapped back to an insight. For example, security as a differentiator shows up in use case, shows up in pitch, shows up in GTM plan. This ensures consistency across execution. And if you look at the execution summary, all of these, the multitask, multiple deliverables, cross-functional thinking, it's completed in minutes because it is not working step by step, it is executing in parallel. So what does this mean for a GTM team? It means faster response to competitors, consistent message across teams, immediate readiness for customer engagement, and most importantly, less time preparing, more time engaging customers. So if you step back, researcher gives you clarity, analyst gives you direction, and coworker gives you execution. This is not just AI assisting you. This is AI becoming part of how work gets done. And the best part, a lot of what you just saw is not futuristic. It's already possible today with Copilot and the ecosystem around it. So this is not about adding another tool. It's about rethinking how workflows work, from signals to strategy to execution, all connected. That's the power of three. So with that, what you just saw is not about three separate tools working in isolation. It was a connected flow from signal in the market to clear strategic thinking, to actually creating something you can use with your customer. That's real shift. AI is no longer just helping us respond faster. It's helping us move from thinking to doing in one continuous motion. And when this becomes part of our everyday work, you are not just saving time, you're operating it at a completely different level of clarity and execution. That's the power of three. Stay secure, stay connected, and see you next time with more such updates. Thank you.